Lately, I've been making some videos for men, and this is another one. It's definitely coming from the information is specific to men, okay? Nice guys, man. There's a plague of nice guys. And like I always say, nice guys just really means weak guys. But here's a point that maybe will stick that I don't think I've never heard anyone say, which is one of the main reasons I think that people don't like nice guys, and may if I can make a guess here, a reason why women don't like nice guys is because you're too one-dimensional. You seem fake. You seem inauthentic. We live in a dualistic world. We all know that. AC/DC, light and dark. Every 12 hours you are reminded that we live in a duality. Light and dark, light and dark. There's a half. There's a complete day that is just, for the sake of explaining it, half of the day it's dark, light, and then half of the day it's dark. But yet you only show the socially acceptable politeness, sweet, nice, kind side of yourself. Now you would think, oh, well, that's better because there's so much pain and mean people out in the world, and so I'm balancing it out. No, you're afraid to show people who you really are. You're afraid to show yourself who you are. See? So nice guys, you could say, are fearful guys. The same thing goes, I'm going to offend people here probably, but the same thing goes for spiritual and religious people a lot of times. I am very, very serious about my spiritual path. In fact, it's probably the most important thing in my life. But as a kid, I hung out with Christians a lot. And more recently, I hung out with Buddhists. And more recently, I've hung out with New Age spiritual people. And guess what? They're kind of similar. I mean, they're doing the same thing nice guys do. They come off as fake, like they act a certain way, and then even when they're mad or you offend them, they say it in a very holier than thou way because that's their world, like instead of just saying like, man, I didn't like that, bro. It's like, we are all in this universe together and with full acceptance of all things that we contain within us, and you know what I mean, like they try to make it seem like they're giving you some like sermon, and it's just like, you're just mad at me, bro. or you know what I mean, and it's like they try to frame it in this holy way, and it just comes off as fake and self-righteous. And to be honest, even though I love spirituality, I don't necessarily like spiritual people and religious people. And me, I kind of, if I had an identity, identities are all like delusions, but but we work with them. We work with the identities we have, and it's part of it. It's part of it. So I'm not saying it's bad, but we think of it as more important than it is because of our ego. So anyway, all of that just to say that one of my main identities was as an artist. And one thing I'll say about that's cool is that artists show the world the stuff we're hiding, expressing our trauma, expressing uncomfortable emotions, expressing sadness, expressing anger, etc., etc. Confusion, disappointment, heartbreak, etc. So in that light, I like the fact that I can lean into my identity and not be so one-dimensional. Like, I'm a very spiritual person, but I also like to harass people and be mischievous. And by the way, you're giving other people more fun when you do that. Of course, harassing doesn't sound good, but it's push and pull. You pull people. Okay, like here's a really good way to put it. A nice guy and the like people that talk a certain way, that are spiritual and religious and all of that. All these people, you know what they are? They're a movie that has no conflict and no drama at all. And you know what that movie is? A movie that no one wants to watch. That movie doesn't even exist because everyone knows that's ridiculous to have a movie like that. So, first of all, you're being inauthentic because you have duality within you. You have to. Just because you exist in this world, you obviously have duality within you. You are loving and hateful, on subtle levels or whatever, but you are. You're a lot more than you think you are. We repress our shadow. You're kind and you're angry. The problem is that people haven't faced themselves and integrated their shadow, and they don't even know themselves how angry they are. They don't even know themselves how selfish they are. And we portray all these positives because that just works for surviving in this world. But let's be real here. You're a lot more selfish than you think you are. Your friends, your loved ones, they're a lot more selfish than you probably think they are. If the electrical grid went down and we couldn't get water and food, then you'll really see where people are at. I mean, people throw people under the bus just to try to get some, how should I put it in a nice way? Like, try to get into a woman's pants. Friends will turn their backs. Women too, definitely. In some ways, women are worse, Men just, they just can't help but like the competition of it, the jealousy. They try to like swoop in and like take other girls from guys, or if you brought a girl kind of then they're jealous and they're going to try to take her or get her to like you more, all that stuff. And on some level, that's fine. Competition, that's good for the world, and it's good for nature. And women do the same thing in different ways, trying to take boyfriends from their girlfriends and stuff like that. But it's worse than you think. Like I said, if it was a life or death situation, you would really see where people are at. And they would 99 times out of 100, most people are going to look out for themselves and kick you to the curb. Now, the point of this video wasn't to make you disappointed in humanity or your friends, but clarity. At least you can be aware that this might happen and this could happen and this is probably true, and you can live your life. I might have just saved you from a lot of drama and heartbreak and suffering. But anyway, back to my point. There is no such thing as a movie. In real life, there is no such thing as this. There is no such thing as or this. Everything just getting better every day, and then you die. And there's definitely not this. Nothing changing, right? So why the F do we not show this about us. People don't believe you. You're fake. You're just portraying the side of, you're just putting on this act of this or this. Nothing is like that. And so lean into your negatives. People will believe you more. They will actually like you more, believe it or not. It's just like a movie. What movie's more interesting, this or this? Or this or this? Even if it's going upward, it's like that, you know? Or even this. This is more interesting than this or this. So don't, you yourself would never watch a movie that is like that. It's a waste of time. So maybe, since it just presented itself to me now, maybe that's why some people think you're a waste of time. You're just flat. You're not being real. And you're boring on top of everything. Peace.